Whoa. Hold on. Okay, we will do our best. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. I already did internet speed tests. I already reset Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh. I already did so many things and I don't know what's going on. Just internet is just deciding to not do anything today. But we will try. It looks like YouTube is giving me a bit more connectivity. Like sometimes it gives me green. So yeah, we're just gonna try it. We're just gonna speed around a bit, and even if it's a bit slow and even if it's a bit laggy, this will at least be recorded, so we can go back and we can check out what we missed. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started or restarted. Welcome back, Yusepe. Well, we're back in YouTube. Nice. Hello, unknown. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, let's start this again. Let's see, we left off on this page. I'm not going to be reading through the whole thing. I'm just going to be like summarizing the vibe, the gist. So as I mentioned before, I originally had Quetz being a little bit more gremlin. Not that he's not a gremlin right now, but he was definitely a lot more sinister. Oh my gosh, is that Xochitlatoli? Hello. I believe, is that Citlalo? Citlalo, is that you? Hello, welcome. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're not Citlalo, I'm sorry. Then hello, Xochitlatoli. So yeah, so as I mentioned before, he was a bit of a gremlin, but everything changed, guys. There's one person to thank for this change, and it's funny to say it, right? It's funny to say it, but the person who was responsible for making Quetz the silly little lovable goofball that he is now is Ariana Grande. I know, you might be thinking, Ariana Grande? Like, that's so random. Yeah, I know. I think it's pretty random too. But yes, it all happened because I was listening to Ariana Grande on loop. And a lot of her songs are, you know, they're like romance and stuff. Talking about getting your man and yeah, I was listening to those kinds of songs. This was during my pop phase. Before, like a few years ago, or for the most of my life actually, I mainly listened to like game soundtrack and Japanese music, independent music. I never really got into pop. But lately I just kind of dove into pop and I'm like, wow, there's some good stuff. So that's what was happening at that time. I was listening to pop, and Ariana Grande was just like my girl, the girl that I would always listen to. And this song right here said, "Heaven sent you to me. I'm just hoping I don't repeat history. Perfect, you're too good to be true, but I get tired of running. Fuck it, now I'm running with you." And I was listening to that on repeat while I was drawing Quetz. While I was doing these doodles of him, and I was like, what if what if this is him singing this to Kudako? You know, it started off as a little thought, right? I was like, oh, that's so silly, that's not gonna happen, but it's interesting to think about. And little by little, it just kind of got derailed, where the Quetz that was supposed to be a gremlin and bullying the cast became a lovable goofball who had a giant crush on the main character. But I was like, you know what? We can't sabotage the Kamagura ship, okay? This story is about Kamazatz ex Kudako. We're not gonna switch it up, okay? But then I started to realize that they were so cute together. They were so cute together. I couldn't stop thinking of Quetzalcoatl and Kudako being a couple. I thought they were adorable, and I thought it was even more intense that that Quetz had like almost like an unrequited love or like an unrequited crush on Kudako, because he would be doting on her and then she'd be like, oh, but I love Kamazatz. So I thought that drama was so good. That drama would be so juicy. And then I thought, man, am I really gonna introduce a love triangle into this world? Yes, we are. Oh, by the way, hello Oingo Boingo, feliz cumpleaños Quetz. Thank you. Yeah, that's her. Fam Canelo really changed Quetz. Certified banger. Yes, definitely. So yeah, Quetz is a silly lovable boy because of Ariana Grande. So yeah, I started to request like ship art of them. I just thought they were so cute. Just look at them. They're adorable. Oh. This art in particular, I actually got in a giveaway, which I thought was really funny because I'm like, dude, Quetz is doing everything possible to get his girl. Like, I never win giveaways, ever. I have such terrible luck, and boom, as soon as I enter Quetz into a giveaway, he wins. So I think the universe was also kind of on his side. Or, I mean, maybe he twisted the universe to be on his side because that's something he would do. And, yeah. And back to Ariana Grande. Her latest album is called Eternal Sunshine, and that's actually the inspiration for the fic itself, like the fic title. It's that's why I gave it the title Eternal Sunshine. It's not just Eternal Sunshine, it's Eternal Sunshine of the Fifth Sun, and that title will make sense once the story is over. I can't give you guys spoilers, but yeah, the title is perfect for the story. Everything gets tied together at the end. But of course, it was also a bit of a homage to Ariana, because when I was listening to the album, I was like, oh man, I'm feeling the feels. And as you can see, the cover is just like a redraw of, oops. The cover is a redraw of the album cover. So the zine cover is a redraw of Ariana's Eternal Sunshine album cover. Hey, Easter egg! So yeah, that's how Quetz basically took over the fic by being a cute baby boy. Very cute baby boy. And you know what's crazy? Okay, I'm sorry, this is the last I'll talk about Ariana Grande in this zine. But I remember during it was the Met Gala, and this happened in May. And I remember I saw like a bunch of pictures of people like at the Met Gala, and Ariana performed, and she rolls up almost looking like Quetz. Right? She has like a green dress that's kind of like what's the word? Like luminescent, like it changes colors as she moves. So it's green and it becomes blue, and I'm like, whoa, like she be Quetzal feathering right now. Like that's what the Quetzal feathers do. And then she has like those little wings on the side of her eyes, so it just seemed very Quetzalcoatl. And then I just realized, yeah, that's a sign. That is a sign. So yeah, that's how the fic got its title. It's because of Ariana. But yeah, like I said, we're not gonna talk about her anymore. We're gonna talk about Quetz. And Here we have this art that is I made exclusively for the zine. I'll post it later as its own piece, but it has its wonderful debut today, and it's based off it was like an art meme based off the Witch Hat Atelier, I believe. So the artist made this composition, which is very interesting, and I thought, man, this is perfect for Quetz. So I went ahead and adapted it for my Quetzies, and there they are. We have Origin Quetz, then we have Lord Quetz, then we have Quetzalcoatl, then we have Topiltzin, which you kind of can't see him much, but it makes sense because Topiltzin is like hiding. He's trying to hide himself. And then we have Tlahuizcalpantecutli at the bottom. Quetz is great for all the memes he provides. Oh yeah, he's a meme lord. But yeah. And here we have Origin Quetz. I made this full body art for the zine, so this is the first time you guys are seeing it. I really like this design of Quetz because it's based off his depiction in Codex Borgia. And I just love the headdress. It's so striking. I love the red kind of like fanning out as if it was a radiant sun. I love the little pokeballs, which I meant stars. And I used to not like his beak mask. I was like, man, Quetz, like really, like you, what is this choice of fashion? Why do you wear a beak mask? But Borgia, Codex Borgia really made me appreciate that mask, and yeah, I've grown to like it. And then another thing about Borgia Quetz is that he has some really pretty nails. Like, you guys might be thinking, oh, Chaya, like, why'd you give him long nails? What the heck? But like, that's not my idea. That's not my idea. That is from Codex Borgia. Okay, he's baby girlin' since ancient times. So yeah. Very much baby girl. This Origin Quetz is the tallest of all the Quetzes. He stands at 8 feet. So yeah, he's a big boy. I won't read the character notes because I pretty much summarize them as I yap. But I will read you guys the story snippet. I'll do my best to narrate, okay? So each Quetz has their little story snippet. So here we go. Quetzalcoatl lay within the icy depths of Mictlan, blood trickling from the countless wounds upon his body. When the god opened his eyes, he saw the sacred bones scattered and broken. He had failed, his heart twisted in remorse. Emotions had always been such a fickle thing, unnecessary for a god. But then why? Why did he want to cry? His vision blurred. It wouldn't be long until his tears began to shed. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out from beyond the pit. If things turned out this way, then let it be. The humans will just be different sizes, his brother Xolotl exclaimed. Different sizes? Xolotl always knew what to say. They were twins after all. Even if his tears were hidden in the darkness, Quetzalcoatl was certain Xolotl understood the pain in his heart. The light of the sun trickled down from the surface. Quetzalcoatl, with his last bit of strength, smiled, and as the life dwindled out of him, his soul continued to laugh. Humanity. What will they look like? The thought of them all unique in their own way, tall, short, thick, thin, an array of colors. He knew he would love each and every one of them, all special and precious. Together, they'd be like a weave of threads used to adorn his very own self. I hope my spilled blood gives them just a bit more strength. The world he and the gods created was beautiful, yet cruel. Quetzalcoatl couldn't stand the thought of seeing them cry. But if humanity had a piece of himself, they will strive just like he did. Please live and prosper, my precious humans. And that's his story snippet. You know, even though he looks very cold, And he doesn't really emote much, as you can see in all of his arts that I made of him. He just has a blank face. He doesn't smile, he doesn't frown. He's just blank, okay? But behind that blank face of his, he has a lot of emotion. He just doesn't feel like free enough to express them. And I brought in this example of Mimi from the animation titled Girl by Daoko. And I really like, in fact, when I look at that animation, and just FYI, the animation is a little bit sussy, so be careful. But when I see that animation, I kind of see origin quotes in there, because this girl, she struggles with like creating like a happy life, a happy world for herself. And in fact, the lyrics go like, how many times do I have to rebuild this world? And when you see her eyes, they're very empty. Like, she never smiles. She doesn't even like frown. It's just like an empty look on her face. But when you look closer, you can see that it's just like a bunch of yearning the entire time. So that's how I imagine the origin quotes. Just very cold, but as you look into his eyes, you just see so much yearning. Like, he just wants to become a dad. Buenas. Hola Sol. Quotception. I love that version. Powerful fashion statement. But yes, here we have my full fancy art of origin quotes. I love it. I love it. His song is Soft Universe by Aurora, and you'll see that there's a lot of Aurora songs associated with my quetzes, but Aurora is just that good. Okay, next we have Topilsin. Oh my gosh, Topilsin is my favorite. He's my favorite. Oh, well, actually that's hard. That's hard because I really love Green Quetz too, Lord Quetz. They're both so good. The Topilsin, he just has a lot going on, okay? He's very complex. He looks like a precious little bean, but he's also very much a gremlin. He he has a lot of turmoil, and there's just a lot going on in that tiny little body of his. His height is 5'2", I think. 5'3", 5'2". I keep on bringing his height shorter because I think it just kind of adds to his charm. At first I had him at 5'5", and then I was told that even that height was a bit on the taller side for the Aztec and for the Mesoamerican. So I was like, okay, all right, we're gonna bring him down to 5'3", and now I'm thinking, what if I make him 5'2"? Just a small precious bean. I love him. Okie dokie. So this is his story snippet. I will go ahead and narrate it. Technically, Topilsin has 2 story snippets, and I'll explain that a bit later. But yeah, let me read this to you. Blood has always been on his hands. That fact will never change. Both humans and gods have been cut by his sacrificial knife. I don't want to die! Please, brother, please spare me! I don't want to die! Sholot's words ring loud and clear, just as they did ages long ago. Now a new victim begs for his life upon the sacrificial stone. At the peak of the great temple, Topilsin, the priest king of Toyan, takes up a ceremonial blade with trembling hands. Resplendent feathers shimmer in the sunlight, garments nothing short of divine. He is a god both in symbol and in truth. If anyone is worthy of reaping a life, it's him. He understands that very well, yet all would see the sorrow in his eyes if it weren't for the turquoise mask obscuring his face. Topilsin knows he has no right to complain. He is not the one giving his life, even though he wishes with his entire being he could. Like Eekat Quetzalcoatl, Topiltzin was to shed blood for the continual life of the cosmos. Feelings are nothing but a hindrance. But his fragile body is on the verge of breaking. Ever since he awakened, Topiltzin could feel his brittle heart crack under the weight of his past sins. The tears choke at his throat, on the verge of overflowing. If he lets them flow, will they ever stop? I don't want to die! Please, I don't want to die! The prisoner cries. Quetzalcoatl is no longer an omnipotent god, but a frail human being. And now his fragile heart will cause him to do the unthinkable. He swings the flint knife down towards the prisoner and cuts his restraints. Go on. You are free. Live. For a moment, everything is silent. The priests do not bother to stop the prisoner from fleeing. All eyes are on Topiltzin, both the earthly and those from heavens above. If it's blood they want, mine will suffice. Topiltzin drives the knife into his arm and red spills onto the altar. He can feel the weight of judgment upon his shoulders, yet his resolve is stronger than ever. With a resounding voice, the chief speaker gives a new decree. From this day forward, no man shall die for the sake of the gods. Doyan shall live for humanity. The Toltec king takes off his mask and raises the ceremonial knife to the sky. His golden eyes are fixed upon the endless expanse above. He knew he had gotten their attention. After all, Topiltzin Quetzalcoatl had betrayed the gods. My boy. My boy! Feels very stoic. Hello, happy birthday, Quetz. Hello, Nessa Blessed. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to mini story time. So that's Topiltzin story snippet. My poor boy. He's got a lot going on in that tiny little body. So I just imagine, like, all of his past as God Quetz, all of the torture that he went through, being bullied by Tezcatlipoca, like seeing his second world die, seeing the death of Maya Well, his failure to protect Maya Well, and then her waking up and not remembering him. And then also him having to kill his brother Xolotl along with all the gods. Like, all of that stuff, he didn't let himself, like, mourn those feelings. He didn't allow himself to really express them. He was like, I'm a god, I don't really have to. I shouldn't let feelings consume me. But now that he's Topiltzin, now that he's a human, he's got all the... like, he's flesh and bone, he starts feeling everything that he should have felt and he should have coped through as a god. So all of that comes crashing down on him, and that's why he's a total mess. My poor baby boy, Topiltzin, is a total mess because he's dealing with his past, he's dealing with his present, because the present is not that easy for him either. He's got a lot of like opposition. Like, ruling a nation is not easy at all. And so, yeah, my poor baby. I put Lady Amalthea there because I don't know if you guys have seen The Last Unicorn, but a lot of the sentiments that Lady Amalthea feels, I kind of see Topiltzin feeling as well. So Lady Amalthea, halfway through the story or through the movie, she becomes human after being a unicorn her entire life. And as soon as she becomes human, she starts to freak out because she can feel like her body literally dying. Like, she has lived with immortality all her life, and now that she is flesh and bone, she can feel like pain, she can feel exhaustion, and that just freaks her out. And I think Topiltzin is very similar in that way, where, like, as a god, he's just eternal, right? Even if he dies, even if he feels pain, he'll just come back. But as Topiltzin, death is death. Like, he's not coming back as Topiltzin. He's not respawning. Like, if he wants to come back as he is, he he has to go through all of his life again, and his early life was not very easy. But yeah, and then we get to Topi Ani. Oh my gosh, my Poke babies! I love them so much. Ani always says that Topilsin saved her because her life was also very, very sad. Very, she didn't have an easy life. I will tell you about it right now because this is Quetzalcoatl, not Ani's, but Ani will get her time to shine later. But Ani always says Topilsin saved her life, but in reality, it is Ani who saved Topilsin's life because I think he just would not have been able to handle everything on his own. And Ani is there for him, and like despite all the scars that he has, she just loves him. Like she just doesn't care about his past or even his turmoil. She's just like, I like you. You're the best. So she's a supportive wife. And I love them, my precious babies. This is a little segment on Topilsin's early life, Seakat. Just add like a little bit of lore here, but basically, he's a gremlin. He was a gremlin as a kid. Ever since he was a kid, he craved blood, and everyone in the village basically saw him as some sort of abomination because it's like, yo, that's not normal. Like kids do not crave blood. They do not kill tiny little creatures to drain them of their blood. And Mishkwat, he was like, huh, like I think my son's just being a little silly. So I love Mishkwat. I see him kind of like a himbo. He's a himbo dad. He's a single father because sadly Topilsi's mother passed away during childbirth. So yeah, the last thing she was able to do is give birth to Seakat, aka Topilsin, and then she passed away. So yeah, Mishkwat, single father, himbo. He thinks his son is the most amazing thing in the world. And yeah. Hello Nessa, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry if my stream is super laggy. I've been struggling with the stream lag like all day. I don't know what's going on, but I'm recording all of this and this will all go up as a VOD, so I hope that helps later on. So yeah, that's Seakat. Oh shoot! I just realized I might not be able to keep this whole VOD because I just realized Seakat's little tiny peepee is on screen. I don't know if that's allowed, but I never bothered censoring his baby peepee because like they're kids. It's nothing really like sus about it. It's just a naked kid. But yeah, I might have to censor that later. Okay, but yeah, there's Seakat. He's just a weird kid, okay? He's a weird guy. He doesn't talk very much. He's very he's almost like animalistic but not quite feral. He just kind of focuses on getting food, eating food, going to sleep, and helping out in chores when people need it. Yeah. People are intimidated by him because he's a very strong warrior, and in battle he's very vicious, but outside of battle he's just a guy. He's just a guy, and he doesn't have any social skills. Right here, that's an AU of Ani meeting Seakat. She meets him once he's Topilsin, so once he's been baby girlified and he's a cute little baby. But as Seakat, no social skills, but he means well. So I imagine he meets Ani and is like, huh, she smells interesting. I wonder what she tastes like. And so he licks her on her cheek, and then he's like, huh, I like how she tastes. Right, it reminds me of sunflowers. And that's it. That is his affection towards her. He's like, huh, I like how she smells. I like how she tastes. I will bring her food. I will go out and hunt for her and make sure she is well fed. And that is his train of thought. Here's my Pookie baby. In Valentine's Day, here he is getting taken care of by Tezcatlipoca. And then here we have him with his pulque. Well, post pulque. Here we have a bit more memes featuring my baby boy, and then of course the Squid Game meme. Okay, next up is Quetzalcoatl altar, which is an extension of Topiltzin. So that's what I meant when I said that Topiltzin technically has 2 story segments, and yeah, it's because altar has its own section, and altar is just Topiltzin as well. Topiltzin number 2. So I think out of all the story snippets, this one's my favorite because of the angst. Okay, the angst. I think so far as I've drawn Topiltzin, I've done like memes of him, right? Him being a cute little silly, him being like having cute moments with Annie, right? And I always say like, oh yeah, he's very troubled, but I never show him being troubled. And this is the opportunity to see just how much he is basically breaking at every single moment. Okay, so I shall read. Okay. There had always been rumors. The past of the Toltec king was a subject of great mystery, not because it was unknown, but because the people knew best not to speak of it. After all, Topiltzin had long since abandoned his birth name, Seacat. Why would they dig up what is already dead? Even so, whispers abound. Didn't he kill his family? I heard he would eat the flesh of his victims. I always wondered why he wears a mask. Does it really matter? Toyan has become a paradise ever since he became king. Only because he slaughtered the opposition. Shh. It's like a dark shadow that follows close behind. The taste of blood never truly left his lips. It's a natural craving for any god, yet he despises it. He can't stand looking at his reflection. All he can see is the hunger in his eyes. Topiltzin knows if he loses his resolve, he'll surely fall into the shadow's grasp. He resorts to extreme forms of penance in hopes of cleaving off a piece of his godhood. His arms, legs, tongue, ears, genitalia, all have been pierced by his own blade. In the confines of his private quarters, he weeps over the self-torture. How long do you plan to keep this up? A voice calls from behind. Topiltzin gasps and drops the flint knife. He knew this voice all too well. Tezcatlipoca. The king turns to face his eternal rival, the one known as Smoking Mirror. The god is painted in all black, much like Quetzalcoatl during his past life. But unlike Feathered Serpent, Tezcatlipoca had not changed one bit. It's been quite some time, hasn't it, Quetzalcoatl? Or should I say, Topiltzin. Tezcatlipoca's voice trails off into a snicker at the utterance of the king's name. Topiltzin scowls at the blatant mockery. What do you want? Your performance caused quite an uproar amongst us, you know. Are you angry? No. The god draws closer to Topiltzin, trapping him against the blood-stained altar. You simply caught my attention. Tezcatlipoca can hear how the king's heart races despite his composed demeanor. Their golden eyes are locked on each other. One wrong move could mark the end of Toyan. Topiltzin flinches when Tezcatlipoca's icy hand graces his cheek, but his gesture and words are gentle. Look at you. You're a mess. Certainly you can feel that feeble body of yours dying as we speak. I can't imagine such a pitiful state. Pitiful. The word makes Topiltzin's stomach turn. Enough! The king pushes him aside. I don't need sympathy. Certainly not from you. He walks past Tezcatlipoca, finally putting a comfortable distance between the two. When was the last time you looked at yourself? None of that matters. So you're afraid. Topilzin turns to Tezcatlipoca once more. The anger is burning on his face. What do you want, Tezcatlipoca? The god smiles. I want you to see yourself. If I do that, will you leave me alone? Gladly. Topilzin breathes in deep. It takes all his resolve to steel his nerves. Show me. Tezcatlipoca lifts an obsidian mirror to the king's face. It had been a while since Topilzin faced his own reflection. For a moment, he is lost at the sight of his aging self. His eyes look weary and sorrowful. His face is much slimmer than before. Had he really been starving himself that much? Topilzin caresses the face shown in the mirror, as if he's comforting a stranger on the other side. Tezcatlipoca was right. He truly was pitiful. He can't bring himself to look away, even as a reflection distorts to show something or someone even more horrific. His golden eyes are like those of a serpent. Feathers emerge from his green skin, and around his head, his hair becomes a ghostly white. That's not me, the king whispers. There is nothing but bloodlust in the eyes that stare back at him. This is the shadow that has always haunted him. He can feel its claws choke at his neck, pulling him deeper into it. That can't be me, he cries. He sees death all around. He can smell the pestilence of rotting corpses. He feels the flames of disaster burn against his thought. This is new to him. When he looks at his clawed hands, they are stained red. Don't reflect me! Topilzin screams and throws the mirror onto the ground, shattering it. He falls to his knees in bitter tears, shattered much in the same way. Bombastic sighting! Happy birthday! Hello, hello, hello! Hello, Quetzalcoatl! Hello! Chat might be super laggy. The stream might be super behind. So if I randomly respond to something minutes later, that's why. So I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet, but I hope it gets better as we go on. And if not, at least the VOD is still here. Okay. So, Quetzalcoatl. You know, Quetzalcoatl, at first, I was like, wait. No. Never mind. The first iteration of Quetzalcoatl was the dream. Okay. It was the dream. I had, I usually don't remember my dreams, but I remember this particular dream I had. I was Quetzalcoatl. Like, I was my own Quetz, and I was just kind of walking around, and I looked into a mirror, and I saw Quetzalcoatl. And I don't remember if I had like, if I was thinking of Quetzalcoatl, like if I was thinking of his character. But as I look back, I think that was the first iteration of Quetzalcoatl. Like, it was from a dream. Because I don't think I was thinking of putting a Quetzalcoatl into the story. But yeah, I remember looking in that mirror, and I just saw how like Quetz's face became like green, and I saw like the white hair, and then I saw the eyes. The eyes were very striking in the dream. Like, the way he looked at me was just, it was kind of creepy. But yeah. That's where I got the idea of Quetzalcoatl. It was just a dream. Hi, Mary Cruz. Hello. Welcome. Liking the smell of flowers and like them like a bee or other pollinator. I'm guessing you're referring to Seacat and liking the smell of flowers. Yeah. I love Seacat. He's so okay. I'm just kind of going back to Seacat. He's just an awkward guy, right? He's not mean. Even though people think he's evil and like a gremlin and just a menace, but he just goes to battle. He does his thing. He comes back. he likes drinking blood, and that's pretty much it. And after that, it's like, okay, I gotta do my chores, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. Oh, I want to talk to some of these animals because animals are interesting. And yeah, he talks to animals more than he does humans, which in turn makes humans think he's a weirdo because he'll be in the corner and he's talking, he's having a full conversation in the corner by himself, and nobody is replying to him. And they're like, dude, what a weirdo. But then, like, when you realize that he's talking to the animals, like there's like some moles on the ground and he's just having a conversation with the moles. So yeah, he's an interesting fellow. So yeah, back to Quetzalcoatl. So I know Topilzin, like in historical Topilzin, like that story of the mirror was very important because it kind of showed like his insecurities, like he was afraid of like getting old. I wanted to go a bit deeper with that concept, and I was like, okay, there must be something else that he despises of himself. Like aside from being old, like there's gotta be something else. And then I was like, okay, well, you know what? Instead of making his reflection ugly, we're gonna make his reflection hot, but his personality ugly. And there we have Quetzalcoatl, who is basically the embodiment of all the toxicity of Quetz. And in a way, he also embodies the legend, or like the confusion with the conquest. You know how people say, oh yeah, like people thought Quetz wanted revenge, and he was Cortez and he wanted to destroy the Aztecs so he could get his throne back. Like Quetzalcoatl pretty much embodies that too. So he's just like this distorted mirror image of Topilzin, specifically Topilzin, a little bit of Quetz, but mainly Topilzin, because Topilzin is the one that is that had the most distortion to his myth. And he's the one that gets confused with Cortez. He's the one that people say like, oh yeah, wasn't he white? Like, no, he wasn't white. But yeah. It's because Topilzin, he was just such a good guy. He was such an important figure, and the Spanish saw that and were like, oh my gosh, what if we yoink him for our own means? But Topilzin, for me, will always be a purely indigenous figure. Oh, and then there's Quetzalcoatl. Wow, so handsome. Very handsome, Quetzalcoatl. Okay, next we have Lord Quetz. Oh my gosh, the baby. Ah, he's the cutie patootie. He's the OG. He's the first ever Quetz I made, and yeah, he's just an embodiment of my initial impression of Quetzalcoatl. When I read his stories, he made me laugh. He made me very happy, and basically, this Quetz with the green hair, he kind of embodies that like happiness, that silliness, and just like he's sunshine pretty much. So that's why as you'll see later in the arts, he's the silliest one. Like I love making memes of him. He's just a silly guy. He's just happy and adorable. Oh my gosh, I just realized. But yeah, he's precious pookie baby. So I will read his story snippet. His is much more simple, much more chill, and it's the first mention of Annie. Okay. There was nowhere left to run. Annie turns back to the pack of monstrous coyotes closing in on her. In her shaking hands lies a final strand of hope. Help me, she pleads in her mind. She had lost everything again. The endless ruins demonstrated as such. A part of her wonders if the coyotes can finally bring an end to her suffering. But her body won't allow it. Every fiber of her being urges her to not betray the final wishes of her friends. She clings desperately to the wind amulet still in her hands. When the coyotes lunge forward, she lets out one last desperate cry. Help me! Quetzalcoatl! It happens faster than her eyes could possibly follow. Red paints the ruined floors before a single coyote can lay a hand on her, or lay a claw on her. She had escaped death once more. The wind howls as a powerful whirlwind engulfs the area. Annie feels she will be swept away by its sheer strength. She can't resist falling to her knees and cowering at the presence of something she knows to be much greater. The surviving coyotes immediately flee in terror, their wails trailing off in the distance. Annie remains in the lonely ruins, hiding her face. At this point, she is too terrified to run. Gradually, the harsh winds slow to a soft, refreshing breeze. "Are you the one who called my name?" says a warm and gentle voice. The mysterious voice alone seems to calm her nerves. Something about it makes her feel right at home, as if meeting a long-lost friend. Annie slowly lifts her face from her cradled hands and she realizes she is bathed in light. There he was, like a radiant sun, shining above her. It takes a moment for Annie's eyes to adjust to the splendor. When she finally catches a glimpse of him in his full regalia, the unbelievable sight leaves her speechless. There is no doubt in her mind that he is a god in purest form. The Lord of Wind descends onto the ground with utmost grace. His long green twin tails shimmer in the sunlight with every movement. Annie continually blinks her eyes. She doesn't want to be betrayed by another fleeting dream. Quetzalcoatl can't help but smile at the sight. As he approaches Annie, he does so with such care as if she were a helpless kitten. He crouches down and places a hand on her cheek, wiping off a splatter of blood she hadn't realized was there. "I'm sorry I was a bit messy." Annie clings onto his wrist without hesitation. The gesture takes the god by surprise, but he doesn't move an inch. He can see the tears ready to pour out from the poor girl's eyes. She squeezes his wrist, reaffirming to herself that this is no dream. "Thank you," Annie whispers in relief. She gently removes her grip on him. "I'm sorry I troubled you." Quetzalcoatl laughs playfully. "Those puny coyotes were no trouble at all. Besides, it's too early to thank me." He takes Annie's hands into his own. The god meets her golden eyes, which are wide in wonder. He finds their color quite peculiar, them being much like his own. "What do you mean, Lord Quetzalcoatl?" "Our journey has only just begun. I know your cry for help was much more than some pesky coyote." Annie's lip quivers as her tears start to overflow. "I want to save him. Please, help me save Lord Sinakan," she says with a broken voice. "I promise. I will stay by your side until the very end." Quetzalcoatl smiles. "You called my name, after all." She breaks into tears and throws herself into his arms. The two engulf in each other's embrace, a broken girl on a quest to save her beloved, and a shattered god desperate to save a dying world. The journey begins. Yeah! So that's a scene that I have written for chapter 4 of Eternal Sunshine. I know we're on chapter 2. We need to get through chapter 3, and then finally, on chapter 4, you guys will be able to meet Quetz. I think back and I'm like, man, why did I make the story in such a way that Quetz doesn't even decide to show up until later in the story? Like, why? But it's okay. I think it makes sense. It has to be this way. But yeah, so Lord Quetz, he's just so cute. He's so cute. He's out of all the Quetzalcoatls, he's definitely the most bubbly, the most happy. Like, he's just a bundle of sunshine. And I think that's why he's just become he's almost like the mascot of all the Quetzes. I mean, he's the first one I made. But yeah, he's just something so special about him. That's why I can't. It's hard to say that Topilsin is my favorite, because I do like him a lot, but there's this Quetz who I also really like. And they're all the same person anyways, but still, it's hard to choose. I love them all. Anyways, the green twin tails. That was the first thing that was the first design decision I ever made for Quetz. Like, even before I had sketched anything, even before I had even written anything, I was like, I want him to have green twin tails because he's a Quetzalcoatl bird. He's a Quetzalcoatl bird and he's a snake. And I'm like, dude, the Quetzalcoatl birds, specifically the males, they have the 2 long twin tail feathers. And I'm like, yeah, I think like Quetz, he deserves to have twin tails too. And now it's just this thing. And it's funny because people thought he was Miku because of those twin tails. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and then as for the gremlin design, I think that gremlin design just kind of came out of nowhere. It was all because my friend Tutu Kuragi, she did a redraw meme of this, and it's basically SpongeBob lifting up like an apple, and the meme was like, draw your OC or your favorite character like holding something out, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna draw Quetzalcoatl. And this was like one of the first iterations of Gremlin Quetz. Cause this art right here was also one of the first iterations of Gremlin Quetz. Because I know I wanted to have just a simplified art for this comic. And yeah. So it was either this one, which, let's see, I drew it on May 2nd. Oops, oh dear. Or this one, which I drew, May 8th. So the comic was the first iteration of Gremlin Quetz. And then there was this art, and then from there he just kind of became his own thing. Gremlin Quetz just manifested from there. Hoi, hi Cyber Gaming Cyberman. Hello, welcome. I'm barely getting out of the cinema. Oh, nice. Welcome. So yeah, Gremlin Quetz. This is the first ever drawing I did of Quetz, just ever. And it's amazing how far he has come. This is one of my favorite drawings. I'm like, man, he looks so hot. And he has a big butt. So there's my baby boy. His relationship with Annie is a bit complicated because even though Annie is really grateful towards Quetzalcoatl, and she loves him, she loves him and cares deeply for him, but it's hard for her to kind of express the feelings. She's trying to suppress them because a part of her doesn't trust Quetzalcoatl, because it's like a god just decides to join you on your journey. Like, why would he do that? That's so random, you know? He could do it on his own. He doesn't need to be protecting this girl, but he does. So that's why she thinks it's a little strange why Quetzalcoatl is always doting on her. But yeah, this comic is a silly comic, but it's just a dream. It's a dream that Annie has. She's crushing on Quetz, might be having some sussy thoughts about him too, and well, it manifests in some strange dreams, like Quetz laying an egg. Why? I don't know. Ask Annie. I'm not Annie. A lot of people think Annie is my self-insert. She is not. She is... What is she? She's just my baby. She's my baby along with Quetz. She's just a silly girl. But yeah, her interactions with Quetz are just the cutest. As you guys may know, she was originally based off Gudako from Fate Grand Order. But it was like a very loose correlation to Gudako, because I know Gudako kind of has her own personality, and Annie never really had the Gudako personality. I was just like, I need a protagonist. Gudako, you could work. And then she became her own thing. So yeah, here we have all the gremlin Quetzes, the cuties. Quetz, gremlin Quetz having some ice cream. Here we have some sus Quetz, because why not? And then there's the Miku, because for some reason Quetzalcoatl fooled the internets into thinking he was Aztec Miku during the Miku trend. Yeah, that was so funny. So since then, it's just been like a joke that he's Aztec Miku. And lore-wise, I could kind of see it. He's the idol, the top idol of the Aztec pantheon. And I imagine Topilzin being his normal alter ego. So Topilzin is like the normal guy, and then he secretly becomes the super pop star idol Quetzalcoatl on the side. Like Hannah Montana, or you know that trope where it's like the person is famous but they want to keep their identity, their normal identity secret. So yeah, that's Topi and Quetz. Here we have Quetzalcoatl for Shiro Day. Here we have some more memes. We have the legendary meme, the enemy of Christ. I don't know why that blew up so much, but I'm not complaining. The only thing I complain about are the weirdos that come into the comments and they're like, oh my gosh, like, the human sacrifices must stop. And it's like, you guys are so uneducated. Okay, and then here we have Quetzalcoatl, who stumbles upon a different world. Well, it's the same world, but different dimension, and he meets one of my other OCs named the Lotus King. That's a very scary encounter, so Quetz, you better start running. And we have Paduru Quetz, and then finally we have the Quetz plushie! Look at him, he's so squishy. I love him. I know a lot of people have been asking for the Quetz plushie to be released. I do want to release him. I do want everyone to have a chance at getting their own Quetz plushie. But I've never done a project like that before, so I want to make sure I go into it with a level head. And I wanna have like some experience selling stuff, so yeah. Okay, and last but not least, Tlahuizcalpantecutli, the OG birthday boy. Oh. Here we have Tlahuizcalpantecutli. Once again, this is a full body art that was made especially for the Quetz zine, so this is the first time you guys are laying eyes on it. Ha 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 ha. Tlahuizcalpantecutli, he's the most elusive out of all the Quetzes, and that's because his role in the story is a bit mysterious, okay? I can't tell you guys too much about it, but I will give you this story snippet right here, which is very short. It's just, you know, it's just this tiny section. How long has he been falling? The endless descent into an all-consuming furnace allows his mind to wander. His memories dance around in his mind like scattered flowers in the wind. Dreams so sweet he could cry, pain so deep all he could do was smile once it was over. All will burn away. The flames graze against his skin. The pain alone is enough to tear him apart. But today his heart burns even brighter, and the Lord of Wind beckons for a new dawn, an undying wish. So that's Tlahuizcalpantecutli. I see him like the final form of Quetzalcoatl, just because the way he becomes Tlahuizcalpantecutli is like, it's pretty intense, okay? As you can see in that Doom timeline doodle. Yeah, he gets burned alive and then he becomes a god, so that's why I see Tlahuiz as just being like a very powerful version of Quetz, because it's like you had to go through a lot to get that form, so you gotta make it worth it. And then into the commissioned art we go! Oh my gosh, I love every single art piece, every single fan art, every single commission work. I get so happy when I see them. So these are from Humming Leaf. So I found this artist after I made a like a request online. I was like, hey, I'm looking to commission people, and then I got flooded by bots. But I got this beautiful gem of an artist to reply to my posting, or to my post, and I was like, wow, that is amazing. I saw her art and I was like, I need a commission from her as soon as possible, and I got 2. So this was the first one I made. It was of Quetzalcoatl, and I still think this is just a masterpiece. Nothing short of a masterpiece. Just everything, the details, his smile, the pose, the Quetzal birds, the colors, everything just looks so perfect. And then of course I had to request Topilzin because I love Topilzin, and I just wanted him to be like happy and dancing, and yeah, and I just thought he'd fit her art style very well. I saw, is it me or is the stream buffering? Yeah, the stream. I'm just gonna write it in chat. Yeah, stream is a bit laggy. I've been trying to fix it, but yeah, it's just not working. But I'll do my best. Hi Zeki, hello, welcome to the stream. Let's see, the chat seems to be lagging behind, so if don't respond right away on stream, that's why. Hi Ziki. Okay, next we have this art by Mochi Boni, and this is actually the first ever art I commissioned of Quetzalcoatl. I actually made my first reference picture of Quetzalcoatl so I can get this commission done, and I thought it was really cool because I had told Mochi's a good friend of mine, and I told him like, hey, like I'm looking to commission you, and he told me like, oh, well, my queue is a bit full right now, but I'll get back to you when I have an opportunity. And I told him, okay, cool. And at that time, when I initially reached out to him, I told him, hey, I want to get an art of my Kamazats, my OC Kamazats. And then he was like, oh yeah, for sure, like that's gonna be great. So I'd say like 2-3 weeks pass, and Mochi gets back to me, and he's like, okay, I'm ready to draw your Kamazats. And then he said, oh, I'm a little scared honestly about Kamazats because of those tattoos. And I was like, you know what, Mochi, I have something better. Well, not better, but I have something that you might enjoy. And I told him like, hey, like, would you like to draw my Quetz? And he's like, oh, like, yeah, for sure. And yeah, at that point, I think I had only drawn the comic of Quetz, the first one where he's like, hey, like what? Say something, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, I want Mochi to draw my Quetz, but I need to get a reference picture. So I made that reference picture for Mochi. And that's the end. This is an art by Quetzalcoatl, another friend of mine. She is amazing, and just the fact that I was able to get a commission from her is just a blessing and a win on its own, because the last 2 times that she has opened commissions, I miss them. She fills up with slots, and I don't get a chance to commission her. So I treasure this art of Quetz because it's like, this might be the only one I'm able to grab from a Katsu. And then here we have Quetzalcoatl by Kiku, also known as 3 p.m. Sun, but I know her as Kiku, and oh my gosh. As you guys will see, I commissioned a lot of art from Kiku because I love her style. I love it so much. So I tell Kiku, like, Kiku, you could literally tell me whenever you open up slots, like, you don't have to wait for me to come to you. You could come to me. That's how much I love her art. She could come to my DMs and be like, hey, my comms are open. You want to buy something? And I will say yes every single time. I don't know, you're a VTuber starting today. I follow you. Thank you, Zeki. Yeah, I am a VTuber. I started off as a VTuber and then I got obsessed with Kamazatsu, and now I'm a LC artist, I guess. But yeah, so Kiku, oh, she's amazing. This right here is a kind of like a collab with her. So she was only taking line art commissions at the time, and I asked for her permission to color them. And she said yes, so I went ahead and gave it to my coloring style, and I just see them as like a mini collab. Same thing with this art. She was only taking black and white line art, and then I did the coloring phase, and you guys saw it earlier on in the zine. I love this picture of Topilsin. He just looks adorable. Oh my gosh, why is he so cute? Oh my gosh, Topilsin. Yeah, I basically gave Kiku Topilsin's reference art, and I told him, do whatever you want with him. Like, I'm not even giving you a pose, like, whatever your heart desires. I trust you with my life. I trust you with my son. So go on, go wild. And this is what she cooked up, and it's still one of my favorite pieces of Topi. They're all so good. And then this is one of her, no, this is her recent art that she has done for me, the latest one. And yeah, I just love the coloring, I love the posing, and it's just amazing. Topi Ani for the win. Next we have Loon Theory. This commission was it was a bit of a self-indulgent one, as you may tell by that lovely pose. Yeah, I at the time I didn't release it. Usually I post my commissions right away, but I was a little embarrassed because this commission was definitely like more on the self-indulgent side, so I was like, like, people are gonna judge me, but whatever. Now it's out. Now it's out. You guys get to see it. There's a particular little detail about this art, which is what made it sus, and I'll let you guys figure it out, okay? You guys have to figure out what exactly makes it sus. It's all about the subtext. Okay, next we have this art from Nami. I actually got this like last week. And I'm so glad that Nami was able to finish it before the publishing of the zine, because I love how it came out. His hair looks like jewels and it's just gorgeous. I love the pose, and then the red string of fate is kind of something I like to imagine Quetz with, but I imagine him being very like aggressive with that red string of fate. You know, usually people make it cute where it's like, oh, it's wrapped around your finger. Like, no, Quetz, if it's not wrapped around your finger, he will wrap it around your body, right? Like, he will grab that string and he will tie you up in that string to make sure you are his. And then we have art from Trasho Kissed, another dear friend of mine. And anytime I want to yassify a character, I go to Trashy because she is the queen of yassification. Like, you guys just have to see her amazing work with Oberon and you guys will understand. So I was like, okay, Quetzalcoatl Altar, it is your time to be yassified. So I sent over my idea to Trashy, and it's amazing because I gave her this pose, but it was the reference picture I gave her was very simple. It was just a person standing with that pose, but Trashy went above and beyond and she made it more dynamic, and I just love the end result. Yeah, she's a queen. And then we have this doodle. I got it for $2. $1 or $2? on VGen, and I told her, you know what, do whatever you want with them, I trust you. And she made a Quetzalcoatl Miku in a concert, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy for my boy. Yes, get that bag, baby boy. And then we have this beautiful piece by Alisishka. I'm actually in talks with her to get another commission because she's just so talented. This is a traditional piece. She drew it on a paper with watercolor. So I just love this traditional style. Like, oh my gosh, just the detail she put into the cape. I'm like, how do you do that? How did you do this? And then the grass, like, whoa. Absolutely amazing. So I am looking forward to another commission from her. I'm thinking of either requesting Tlahuizcalpantecutli or Seacats because I don't have any art of them. Next we have art from a fellow artist. Her name is Luna. So we met through Kamazats, and we're mutuals on Twitter, and we don't talk too much right now just because, first of all, language barrier, and then I think she's drawing like Honkai Star Rail, and I just kind of went in the deep end in Mesoamerica. But she's a very sweet person, and I'm so glad I had this opportunity to send her a skeb, or to request a skeb. And Luna went above and beyond. She gave me 2 pieces. So I originally requested just 1 piece, which is the one on the left. I just gave her the art of my reference picture of Quetz, and I told her, well, have fun. You know, just draw him however you want. And yeah, so she drew this, and then she included this bonus chibi, and I was like, wow, this is so cute. Ah. Yeah, and they both look fantastic. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love the lighting in this picture. He just looks like a divine being, which he is. And then of course, cute, precious mini Quetz. Next we have work by Nocturno Alado, and oh my gosh, he is amazing as well. I love how dynamic his poses are, and I love the style that it gives me like a comic vibe, like as if I'm looking at like a Marvel comic or something. So really amazing work. I asked for the line work on this art, and I hope I get to color it one of these days. And then here we have this full colored piece of Topilsin, and once again that pose is just fantastic. And also panty shots from Topilsin, absolutely beautiful, slay. Then we have this Topi Ani drawing by Kaniebi. Ugh. When I saw Kani's commissions go up, I ran as fast as I could because she's like, yeah, I don't open the commissions very often. And like, I remember I would like, even now I look at her art and I'm like, this is so beautiful. Like, it's just so, it's so clean, it's so dynamic, it's great. And I'm so glad I was able to snatch a slot. And I was able to get this beautiful art of Topilsin and Ani. Just an FYI, I put the background myself, and I didn't draw it. I basically just go to Canva and I photo bash. Yeah, so here we have this beautiful collaboration. And then here we have Dark Fowler. I know her as Dark Fowler, but I guess her username is Azazel Fallen. And oh my gosh, this is also a wonderful traditional piece. And I had the honor of getting the physical version. So I have the physical version in my house, and it's just amazing. I love having the original. It just makes it a lot more special. So yeah, and I love the little chibi Ani. Look at little chibi Ani, she's so cute. So I love how this piece came out. I love that I have it in my hands. I could literally like put it on my wall. Right now I have it stashed in a folder because I don't want it to get dusty. My room gets a bit dusty, so I'm like, we're gonna protect it. Next we have This art by Arte Mental. She is an amazing artist as well. And honestly, I'm really digging what she did with Ani. So I didn't tell her to add like any sort of ribbon or anything. I think they just went with like creative liberty and added these like little details, which I really love, and I might actually like not steal because, you know, it was a commission, but I might incorporate this into Ani's design because I just love the ribbon. It's adorable. So that was some giga brain kind of deal right here. They're so cute. Ani having sussy thoughts on Quetz give me ideas. Here we have Origin Quetz by Voyager Goyo. I know her as Lucy Bell, and she also draws Mesoamerican art. And when I saw her style, I was like, okay, she would be perfect for Origin Quetz because I like how she gives her characters like a bulkiness to them. And that's how I imagined Origin Quetz. I imagined him being like the bulkiest out of all the other Quetzes. And I was like, okay, Lucy Bell is the perfect candidate to draw this boy. And yes, she was! Because this came out so cute and my boy looks deliciously thick. I'm so happy. Then we have this art by Shu. The username is the Shotli Giawit. And oh my gosh, this is like another dream come true. I've always seen Shu's work, and they do Mesoamerican art as well. And I would always see their work and I'll be like, oh, the shading, the detailing, the texture is just amazing. So when I saw those commissions go up, I just jumped on them. I needed to see my Tobilsin in Shu style, and yeah, dream come true. I think it just came out amazing. I love his gentle gaze. I just love his eyes and his hair. He looks like a princess, which he is. So yeah, amazing work. Then we have some pieces by my dear friend Yuki Setsura, aka Setsu. Setsu is a goddess in terms of arts, guys. Like, I kid you not, she is incredible, and she's so fast too. So I'm glad I got this traditional piece of Topilsin, and ooh, I just love the abs that she added. Like, that is hot. I know I don't usually draw abs on my Topilsin, but he would have abs because he is a warrior, a seasoned warrior at that. Like, he earned those Quetzalcoatl Piloni. Yeah, he earned the stripes. And then we have Quetzalcoatl. Once again, just, I love the detail. I love the pain in his eyes. And Setsu is really good at this. She's really good at bringing out the emotion in characters through their facial expressions, through the composition. There's just so much heart that she puts into her drawings, and I'm so glad that I was able to see like the pain so evident on Alter's face. Why is he in pain? He's like angry, betrayed. So one of my early concepts of Quetzalcoatl, before I kind of made him more like cuckoo crazy, was that he was very bitter. One of the reasons of that bitterness was just being unrequited by Ani. I know it sounds silly, but these are very early concepts. But yeah, and that's why I went with this kind of concept for this commission. Next we have works by Kuragi Tutu, another dear friend of mine. I love her so much, and I'm so happy I was able to work with her, especially on this Topilsin. Oh my gosh, I love how this one came out, and I might turn this into a standee For personal use, I don't think I'd be able to sell them because, you know, I want to respect her TOS. But yeah, for myself though, I'd love to get this as a standee. It's very adorable. It just, the details came out so perfectly. His hair, his little mouth, and of course the cacao tree in the back. And then we have Alter being a little soon biting on his lollipop because he's grumpy and he needs his snacks. Yay, plush Quetz, yay! And then we have this dream artwork by Hello Sunnycore. I found her work through a pit crew. And since then I was like, oh man, like I wish I could commission her one day. And that dream came true. So this piece was like a treat for myself because for a time my colleague had to he had to go for like some trip, and I had to basically take his load of work. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was a stressful time, guys. It was a stressful time. And I told myself, well, if I survive this, I will treat myself to like a good commission, because the price for this was pretty up there. Okay, but you know, it was my treat for myself for surviving at work. And you know, I think it was well worth it because I got to see my boy in the stream artist style. And then we have another friend of mine by the name of Haru. They go by La Spicy Tuna Roll on Twitter. And I'm so glad I had this opportunity to commission them because quite frankly their art is just so cute. And they're really good at anatomy. Like I love, oh, oopsie. Oh no. They're really good at anatomy. I love how you can see like Quetz's arm muscles, his pecs. Like that's kind of hot, not gonna lie. And then of course Topi Ani. They just look so adorable. Once again, I added the background. This is just like a photo from Canva. But Haru was able to add a custom background for this one, and I just think it looks fantastic. Like, man, that's amazing. I wish I was this good at backgrounds. But yeah, wonderful work all together. And then we have this beautiful piece by Tama on the left. So this was actually a concept for like a light novel cover of a little AU featuring Quetz and Ani. And Quetz is basically an influencer, and Ani is his manager. And what happens is that Quetz, he's trying to make it as an influencer, but he sucks really bad at it. And it's not because his looks aren't that great, it's not because his personality isn't great, it's because all he takes pictures of is a snake whose name is Pepper. He just takes pictures of his snake, and then some selfies here and there, but they're usually about his pet snake. And he's trying to kind of make it as an influencer, but he also doesn't care too much if, you know, his stuff doesn't get much attention. I think what he likes most is just hanging out with Ani, and they had been like friends for, you know, for a long time. They were childhood friends. And then Ani, she studied to be like a manager, a content manager. So she was like, you know what? Like if I can save my bestie's account and I can make it grow, then surely I can make anything grow because his account is abysmal. And Ani starts taking picture of Quetz, but you know, he doesn't like to sit still. So it's hard to get like a good picture of him. So that's their first struggle, just getting Quetz to sit still and get a nice picture. But she notices that she gets good pictures of him when they hang out, and she has to take pictures secretly. And those are the pictures that start going viral because people start to say like, wow, like he looks so cute. And when he looks at the camera, it's almost as if he's looking at you as if you were his girlfriend, or like as if he loved you. And of course, the reason why that's happening is because the one behind the camera is Annie, and Quetz loves Annie. But yeah, anyways, that was a tangent. But that's the story behind this art. I have a picture of Annie, which at that time was Gudako. But I decided to just include the Quetz one because this is Quetz's zine. And then we have this adorable emote by Sophia Evie. And I remember I saw this emote, but it was Kukulkan from FGO. And when I saw it, I was like, I need to see this as my Quetz. And luckily, Sophia Evie was available at the time, and so I gave her my request, and she gave me this adorable emote, and you guys can use it in the Discord server. So if you're not in the Discord server, make sure to join so you can see this beautiful artwork. And then finally, we have these expression sheets, or this expression sheet by Aster Parfait. And I got these because I was doing some straw page asks. And I haven't done them lately just because for a time the straw page was getting taken advantage of by some foul people, so I stopped. But yeah, these are for the straw page, and so that I can interact with the squad, with the people as Quetz. And yeah, his expressions are so cute. I love this one right here, where he's like a gremlin. But yeah. Okay, now on to fan art. Oh my gosh. These are so good. I love them so much. Okay, first we have this art by Mori. Hey Mori. Oh my gosh. When I saw this, I almost fell out of my seat. He was just so cute. Like, look at him. He's stretching. I love his little mouth. Look at his little mouth. His little cat. Well, it's not a cat mouth. I see it as a snake mouth, but you guys get what I mean. This adorable little mouth. And he just looks so happy. He's stretching out in the morning and he's ready to check on his precious humans. And also, he got a big butt. And I appreciate that because I always imagine my Quetz having a big butt. And thanks to Mori, that big butt is a reality. There's also a second version of this art piece, but you guys will have to find that on your own. So good luck, and yeah, I think it's very juicy. Next we have this beautiful piece by Ecostar. I just love that little monkey on Quetz's hand. And just Quetz looks so adorable. He's like on a tree branch. So this art is cropped so that you guys could see Quetz better. But the full art, you could see that Quetz is like on a branch. So he's up in the trees. He's with his little monkey friends. And he's just having a good time. Yeah, I love Ecostar's style. I love the tiny little things, and his eyes just look so happy. Adorable. Then we have this piece by Nessa Bless. Oh my gosh! I was so happy to see this. And she made this pretty quickly. I remember I made the announcement like, hey, you guys have like a week left for submissions. And Nessa came into my DMs and she showed me the concept art, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, cook. And yeah, and she was able to turn this around rather quickly, and I'm just so happy about it. Yay! I love the fangs. The fangs are adorable. And then we have Mariquita, also with some adorable fangs. So this is an art by Mariquita. You could find her as Mari Skaduros. And once again, just beautiful all around. I love the hair. I love how sparkly it is. And I love this kind of like refraction of light. And like the shadows cast by the leaves. It just gives it a very majestic look. So I'm really happy I was able to get this piece for the zine. Then we have this art by Padawan Carol. But it was commissioned by LFVBF, and I remember this got posted a while back, and it just brightened up my day, because it's like someone commissioned an art including my Quetz, and that meant a lot. I was like, wow, like I can really feel the love for this character. And I just love the concept as well. Quetz and FGO Quetz having like a bit of like not an arm wrestle, but you know, they look like they're ready to start a friendly competition. So yeah, and lovely art all around. I'm just so glad I was able to include this. Chaya's Kiku's investor confirmed. Hell yeah. I want to say I love your art and made me want to get more into Mexican native art and culture. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know, I've been hearing that from various people, and it just blows my mind, because I feel like I'm just a crazy person. I'm just a crazy person who's down bad for Quetz. So I always am so amazed when I hear people say that I have inspired them to like study Mesoamerican culture and like Mexican culture, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Me? But thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you are enjoying Mesoamerican culture. It's such a beautiful culture, and it hurts me to the core that it has been shunned for so long and it hasn't gotten the love it deserves. I think it deserves so much more attention, so much more care. And I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about Mesoamerican culture and history. Like, people automatically think, oh my gosh, the sacrifices, but the history was a lot more than the sacrifices. The sacrifice, I'd say, accounts for what, like 5% of just the entire scope of Mesoamerica. And there's just so much like intricacies about it. So much beauty. And I've always been a lover of the concept of deathly beauty. And that's kind of how I describe Mesoamerica. It's like deathly beautiful. Anyways, here we have some pieces by Adianeth. She goes by 16 Med Adiane. And oh my gosh, this is like one of this art on the left was one of the first fan arts I got of Quetzalcoatl. And this was actually one of the motivators of creating this zine. Hi Jackie-chan, thank you so much. Happy birthday, thank you. Quetz's birthday, hooray. So yeah, when I saw this art, I was like, wow, like people love Quetz and they're making art of him. And that's when the light bulb went up, because I was like, you know, maybe I could compile like all this art into like a little book, and then maybe add some of my own art and add some like stories into it. And at that time, I think it was like January, and I was like, you know, we have enough time to make this. So yeah, thank you, Adianeth. You were the inspiration for even making this project. And then we have another art of Quetzalcoatl. This one was pretty recent too, and Adianeth even posted the speed draw of it, and it's just so cool to see the process. But yeah, I love them both. This one has like a traditional look to it. I really like this shading. It looks as if she colored it with a marker, but it seems to be like digital, so it's very impressive. I think it's hard to get a traditional looking style on digital, and I think Adianeth really was able to like achieve that with this piece. Yeah, and of course Alter, so beautiful. I really like this purple right here and these contrasting colors. I've been experimenting with that myself. So yeah, I'm taking some of these ideas. Like pink in the undercape. That's amazing. That's Giga Brain. Really good art. Yeah. Then we have Mimi, also known as Madbox, and this was a surprise to me. This art, because I remember Mimi had done art of Quetz before, this one in particular, and I was like, Mimi, like, can I use this in the fanzine? And she was like, yeah, go for it. And so I told her, like, hey, like, so whichever art you may have, because I know she had done like some other doodles of Quetz, so I was like, whatever art you may have, like, feel free to send it over, and like, I'd be happy to add it. And then boom, she brings this, which I had never seen before, and I was like, oh my gosh, like a new art of Quetz. So yeah, I think he looks super cute. I love that look on him. Like, he looks kind of smug, but also playful. So, and that's just the kind of guy he is. He could be smug, but deep inside he's just a playful guy, and I love him. I like that his hair, it almost looks like he has it down. Yeah, very nice look on him. And then this was like the first doodle I think she made of Quetz, and this was a while back, and I was so excited about this. I was like, oh my gosh, I think this was like one of the first fan arts I got of Quetz ever. And then this was a surprise, and I'm so happy Mimi was so kind as to make this like traditional Mesoamerican style art of Quetz, because I've been wanting to do this for so long, and I remember I would always look at Mimi doing it and I would be like, oh my gosh, like I wish I had I had the patience or like the enlightenment to adapt them into like a Codex Borgia or like traditional style, and lo and behold, Mimi has achieved it. She's so good at these. Oh my gosh, guys, please check her out. These are amazing. And of course, some Quetz smooching going on. Oh yeah, this is loving yourself at a whole different level. Okay, they're both Quetzalcoatls, just from different worlds. And then we have this piece by Mary the Dark. This was it was like an art submission for expression practice, and I'm so glad I was able to grab this particular expression. Like, he just looks so cute. He looks so silly, the build scene. Oh, I like the hard eyes inside. Like, the build scene definitely has those hard eyes going on when certain situations arise. But yeah, just very cute. I like the little sweat drop. Yeah, all of the expressions came out really good. So Mary did quite a few of them. One of them, of course, was my Topil scene, but there were a lot of other characters that she did. And then we have this doodle by Itzli Xochitl. I know her as Ren. And oh my gosh, she drew the precious baby Topilsi. Yeah, it's just so cute. I love his smile. I love his eyes. I like that he looks like tired, but also so full of love. Right, like he's tired, kind of like a mom, where you could see that she's so exhausted, but at the same time she still has so much love for her kids. That's what I see here with the build scene. It's like he's going through a lot. He has a lot on his shoulders, but above all, his love for humanity is greater. And then, oh my god, I love this page in particular because it's just like a contrast. Okay, like you got the gremlin Quetz, and then you got like a very cute, like happy Quetz. But yeah, gremlin Quetz. I saw this piece of the gremlin Quetz as I was coming out of my my flight to New York. So, and I was dying, guys. That flight happened in the middle of the night, and I wasn't able to sleep too much throughout the flight because my tummy was like rumbling, and I was feeling a bit bloated, so I wasn't able to rest well in the flight. But as soon as I opened my DMs and I saw this, I just snapped right awake. I snapped right awake. I was so filled with energy. This gremlin saved my life. And it's just amazing. I love it so much. He's got his ice cream, he's got his corn, and he looks like the ruler of the world, which he is. He is. All hail the gremlin Quetz. And then this art, when I saw it yesterday. I almost fell out of my seat. Cause I never expect, well, I guess I kind of expected. It's Quetzalcoatl, which you guys may know as Shiku. He's the author of Codex Black. I think last week he made a he put the meme up where it's like, oh, give me 6 characters to draw, and he said, okay, mutuals, give me your OCs. And so I gave Quetz as my submission, and it kind of slipped my mind. And then bam, in my DMs, I see this and I just lose it. It took a moment for me to even grasp the situation. Like, it felt like such a dream come true that I even like stood up and like kind of felt my face, and I was like, okay, is this real? But yeah, such amazing art. Oh, I'm so glad that Shiku made this before the zine was published, so I was able to include it, and he allowed me to include it. It's just so amazing. And then this piece, along with Adianeth's art of Quetz, these 2 pieces together were like the push to make the Quetz zine. Because I had gotten this one, and I was like, oh man, like this art is so fantastic. Like, I started to get the idea of the Quetz zine. And then when I saw this came like right after. That's when it cemented it, where I was like, okay, I need to make this. I need to make it for the people. And there we go. Oh, I love this art so much. I love the nose. Okay, the nose is my favorite because I feel like a lot of times anime characters are given, like, you know, the non-aquiline nose. Like, they usually have small noses. And for Quetz, I wanted to give him a big nose because that's how it's depicted in like Codex Borgia. That's how it's depicted in a lot of codices, actually. So I was like, you know what? Like, let's just stay true to it. And I like that the artist included his big nose. It's just so cute. I love it so much. And then the lips. Those lips are so juicy. And I love the little fang that's sticking out. Yeah, very good art. I was amazed when I saw this. And then here we have some doodles by Delrette. And I always love her doodles. They're just so full of charm. And I love the way that Delrette does expressions. Like, these are so cute. So here we have some doodles. I think this is the first doodle she made of my Quetz. And it's basically him adopting the Onyx Equinox children. And then we have Gremlin Quetz with the Raspado. And then here, this is the most amazing thing. This is a comic of all the Quetzes coming together. So we have Mimi's Quetz and Onyx Quetz kind of fighting it out. We have other Quetzes looking upon them in concern, and these are Quetzes by different creators. So this is, I think this is Lucy Bell's Quetz, this is my Quetz, I'm not sure whose this is, and I think this is Ren's Quetz. And then my Quetz right here, he doesn't like seeing people fight, so he becomes a magical girl or a gremlin and tries to stop the other Quetzes from fighting. So yeah, I love this comic. It was just so cute. And that was a lovely collaboration with all of the Quetzes, because everyone basically sent in their reference picture of Quetz, and Delrette put them all together in this wonderful scenario. And then here we have some art of Annie. and with her two precious babies, the gremlin child Topi and the gremlin Quetz. I feel bad for my girl if she has to deal with those two. And then here we have a piece from Zeki. Zeki, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much again for your wonderful art. I really like the background. I was like, okay, because I saw the original background, right? Zeki sent me the original background of the art, which was like a building. And I was like, like I wonder what the alternative is gonna be. And I really like this alternative. He looks like a radiant sun, which fits him really well. So, yeah. And I'm excited to see the 2.0 of this. He's so good. Very fluffy. And then we have the Gaming Cyberman. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but I'm so glad he drew Origin Quetz. I feel like most people drew Green Quest, so it's always so refreshing to see someone do like a fan art of one of the other Quests. And I'm so glad he went with Origin because his design is just so cool. And he came out amazing in your style. And it's funny to see like the incorporation of the cyber elements, because in my world, or in one of my stories, it does take place in like a cyber world, and I could totally see the world of Eternal Sunshine converging with that other cyber world in the future. So yeah, this may not be that far off. And then here, a lot of these are my arts, but they are translated into Nahuatl by a dear friend named Citlalo. And you can find him on Twitter. His name is Citlalo Mapach. And yeah, he always gives, she always gives really amazing cultural facts about Nahuatl culture, Mexican culture. And I always love seeing her tweets. They're amazing. And she's just a great person and a great friend. And I'm so grateful for her contributions on these comics. In this case, she gave me the translations and I incorporated them into the comic. And then in other instances, she just goes on ahead and does the translations herself, like in the image. So it's just amazing. I have learned Nahuatl through Citlalo. And yeah, I'm always learning something new from her account. And then of course, this legendary translation. I love it. I love it because this is exactly what they would say. But yeah, so beautiful. I love the Nahuatl language and I would love to learn it in the future. And then we have this final piece by Bread. She also goes by Lynn on Twitter. And this was like a little mini request I did because I just showed me and my Quetz. And she was so kind as to draw my little Quetz along with me. Look at us, we're so cute. I love her style. It's so clean, it's so cute, and so expressive. So I'm really glad I was able to include it in the zine. And yeah, that's the end of the fan art. And then here's the outro and credits. All of the artists are credited in this book. And then for the fan artists, some of them decided to include a little comment. So I just want to read some of these comments because they're so lovely. So we got Hey Mori. He says, no matter the form they take, within every depiction of Quetzalcoatl exists the love they have for humanity. Live well and live long for yourself and for those that want to see you prosper. This is so sweet. Like, just the love for Quetzalcoatl is so deep and it's so profound and it's so wholesome. And I very much agree with Mori. Like, Quetzalcoatl just shows his love for humanity, no matter the form he takes. And And then from Miss Nessa Bless, she says, Quetzalcoatl is one epic god. So happy he looks wonderful. I'm so happy too. Thank you again, Nessa, for your contribution into the zine. He looks adorable. And honestly, with the pose, he kind of reminds me of Sailor Moon, which is awesome because that gives me so many ideas. Like, he is Hatsune Miku and he is also Sailor Moon. And then we have a comment by LFBBF regarding the commissioned work he submitted, and it says feathered serpents, meaning for the first time, made by an artist who really loves X-Men. Yeah, and that artist is Padawan Carol. Then we have a comment by Mary the Dark. She says, estuve bien inspirada a la hora de dibujar, which translates to, I was very inspired at the time of drawing. So I'm glad. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that she felt inspired. I don't know if it was by my Topil scene in particular, or if it was just everyone's wonderful OCs as she was working on the expressions. But either way, I could see just so much care went into this art. And then we have Raidevelt. Oh my gosh, this is okay. Raidevelt, this is my favorite comment. It's just so good. It's so good. And it says, the primordial light shines upon brightly, illuminating the world and all that surrounds it, yet nothing is truly infinite in this fleeting world. Like corn that eventually turns back to soil where it came, ice cream that gradually melts into a transient puddle, the guiding light will one day lose its glimmer. Till then, like the little gremlin feathered serpents, let's live life to the fullest, to savor what life brings to us, to only face onwards, undeterred to a new tomorrow. So cute! I just love the image of the little gremlin, you know, just going on, enjoying life, and yes, we will do so in the same way, like the little gremlin. Then we have a comment by Calvarian, who I know as Rademin con queso, and they say, hermoso Quetzaldeidad, gran criaturita caótica, which basically translates to a beautiful Quetz deity and a great chaotic creature. Yes, he's a little chaotic creature, which is funny because Rademin drew Quetz so majestic, and it's like all the gremlin energy. Well, actually, no. I see the gremlin energy. I see it in the smile. He can't hide the gremlin energy. Then we have a comment by Del Ret, and it says, their enjoyment in their characters inspired me to work more on mine, which is amazing. I'm so glad that I was able to serve as motivation, because like I said, I just see myself as a crazy person. I'm just a crazy person who doesn't shut up about Quetz, so it's insane to think that my craziness has inspired people. Like, that is such an honor, and I'm so grateful that the love for Quetz is growing amongst the people. Yo, my art. I'm not a fast artist, Lamel. Thank you. Gotta have cake. Wait, where? OMG, the fingies. Yeah. Next we have a comment by Zeki Sakuma. It says, te agradezco dejarme ser parte de esto, además de tomarte la molestia de que con este proyecto tuyo darle difusión a una parte de nuestra cultura. Mucha suerte y éxitos. Oh, muchas gracias, Zeki. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a secret, guys. This is a secret, but I'll tell you guys. After the zine, I want to make another one, not based on my Quetz, but based on all the Quetzes. So stay tuned, because my Quetz is not the only Quetz around town. There's a lot of other ones, and I think it'd be really cool to make a zine with like everyone's quests, and everyone like tells their lore and shows off their art, and yeah, that's a future endeavor. Maybe in the fall, because right now I have to work on some YouTube videos, or else I'm gonna go kaput. Okay, and then we have a comment by Bread, aka Lynn, and she says, I just want to say I love your Quetz's design, and you inspire me to study more about Mesoamerican mythology. Oh my gosh, thank you. I always get so happy hearing people being inspired, being motivated, because yeah, this culture deserves it. It deserves more love. It deserves more care. I feel like it's been kind of put to the side. Like, and I remember even when I was in school, like we spent like 2 weeks on like Greek mythology and stuff, and I didn't like Greek mythology that much as a kid. I liked Egyptian mythology because of the pyramids. And it's funny because it's only later on in life that I was like, whoa, there's pyramids in Mexico too. And I remember in school, I only read one paragraph about the Mayans and the Aztec, and that's it. That's it. One paragraph on them versus 2 weeks of dedicated lecture on the Greeks. Yeah, it's the disparity is insane. So I'm glad that the culture is getting more love, getting more attention, and if I the fact that I have inspired some people, I already feel very much fulfilled as a creator. So thank you so much. Inochi, All Owl Reaper, good evening, hello, welcome to the stream. We need more Mesoamerican culture and history in media, definitely. And guys, together we're gonna achieve that, okay? Because I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. So the more you guys are inspired, the more you guys are motivated, the more we will achieve together. So yeah, and that is the end. That's me with Gremlin Quetz, my beloved Pookie, my beloved plushie. And yeah, this zine was made with pure love for Quetz, pure love for Mexico, pure love for the ancestors and Mesoamerica. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And then we have Quetz, who is full of love and corn, because for his birthday we gave him lots of corn, lots of chocolates, and cake. Yay! And that is the end. Yada! Thank you guys for stopping by. Man, this was a pretty long stream. But I'm glad you guys stopped by. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the zine. I'm very grateful for everyone who contributed works to the zine. All the arts and just the love in general is just very much appreciated. Also, Hootie birthday, thank you. But yeah, it is getting pretty late. I'm actually getting sleepy right now. Cause it's 11 and my bedtime is at 11:30. So I think this is a good time to end. I'm sorry if there was like lag issues. I tried like every single thing I could to get the internet to work better, or to get smoother, but alas, there was only so much I could do. But thank you for sticking around, even if the internet was a bit laggy and such. And the VOD will stay up so you guys can come back and enjoy. So yeah, thank you everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night or the rest of your day. I don't know how time zones work. But yeah, thanks again for stopping by. And once again, a very warm and happy birthday to our beloved Quetz. Yatta! The multiversal self says lol. But yeah, I don't know how far behind chat is. I hope that when I end stream, you guys aren't like just left hanging, because that would be weird. But yeah, have a nice night or nice day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye. Mwah.